Hey, Tanner James, DJ, TJ. This is the Peak Period podcast. We are on episode 32, and this week we are talking all about DJ websites. DJ websites. So this is going to be an awesome episode if you have a website already, and if you are designing one, if you are creating one, if you haven't created one, definitely listen to this. But you can get a bunch of good beneficial tips from this podcast, even if you do have your own website. So we're going to kind of get into it. I just wanted to say real quick, if you aren't on Facebook, if you aren't on YouTube, go ahead, go add us there, DJ TJ Training. You can find us on all the social mediums, and it is super beneficial to you. We post about once a day so that you can get little tips that will help you book more gigs, have better performances, come off as a better DJ, all that good stuff. So if you don't know, I am currently in the process of redesigning my website. I loved what I had, but I just wanted to change it up a little bit. It was kind of, I don't want to say bland because that wasn't the right word, but it was just, there was a lot of white space and it looked great. It was very nice and good, but I just wanted to change it up and add some more colors to it. So I ended up going to a designer and said, this is what I want. This is kind of what I'm thinking. Which was basically, these are kind of the colors that I want, and I want it to look modern, and you do the work. And he said, okay. And so he's doing it. And so we're both kind of messing with it right now. He's doing a lot of it. I'm just kind of doing some little tweaks here and there, making sure that it all works out. But I have realized that a lot of DJs don't know much about website design. And, it's one of those things that if you don't know about it, it can be really, you don't know, right? You don't know what you don't know. And so it can be really, really hard. And so I wanted to jump on this podcast and give you some tips about things that you can do for your website, because it's little things that very well could make the difference between you and the other DJs. I mean, how many DJs are in your town? How many DJs are in your area? There's probably a lot. And the tricky thing is, how do you stand out? How do you be different? How do you show that you're different? Because you're probably more expensive. How is it that you say that you're different when, you're like you're just more expensive, but that doesn't mean you're different, so what's really hard is to differentiate yourself, show that you're different, and your website is one of those ways that you can do it. And I got a lot of compliments on my website beforehand, before I ended up doing the switch, but I just wanted to make the switch and just, step it up a notch. And so, now that I'm helping DJs grow their businesses, I'm seeing a lot of websites. I'm checking out their websites, and I've noticed a few main things. And that is what I'm going to that's what I'm going to talk about in this podcast, so that you can take these little tips and use them for your website. So I think first and foremost, your website has to look good. It has to be appealing. It has to look modern and elegant. And I think that's really important. That's what a lot of DJs don't do. They throw their stuff up there. They just get a text box, they put it on, and they write in their stuff. They don't really make it look good. And it's kind of tricky because if you're not a designer, you don't know what you're looking for. And I'll get into that in just a little bit about getting a designer. But, you want to make sure that it looks good, because if it doesn't look good, if it's confusing, if it doesn't work out right, people are leaving. They will leave your website. You don't want that. And with that, you have to have it mobile friendly. Okay. So if you have a website and it looks great on your desktop, but then you go to your phone and it's all messed up, that's no good. Dude, that's no good. I get about 80% of my website traffic is on a phone. And so, I want to make sure really the phone matters more than the desktop, because who cares if your desktop looks good if only 20% of the people are going there. So, it's just so common for people to jump on their phones. Oh yeah, let's look up a DJ, and they just jump on their phone or their tablet or, their laptop. Maybe yours is, and this is a big tip that I was having some trouble with. Your desktop, it looks great, but on a laptop, it doesn't. Or on a laptop, it looks great, but on a desktop, it doesn't, because of the dimensions of the screen and everything. It will get messed up. So you have to make sure that it all matches and it all looks good. And that can be tricky sometimes. So you want to make sure that it is mobile friendly, has to be mobile friendly. It's modern, elegant. I like modern and elegant. I think those look great. And then another big one, and I actually did a post about this on on all the social media accounts, is quick load times. Quick load times. So you know when you go to a website and you type in the URL and then it like takes like more than 2.5 seconds and you're like, okay, this is really slow. Like, what's going on? The thing is, a lot of people drop out at that point. So I forgot what the statistic is, but it's like if it takes more than 2 seconds, like 90% of people leave. They don't even wait for your website to load. It's crazy. So for you need to make sure that your website loads quickly. And there's a few things that you can do. And if you don't know what to do, it's really, really in depth. I'm starting to learn a little bit about it, but really it's not even like the size of the pictures that you have on there, because if you have like big pictures that are like super clear and they're big files, it'll take longer to load. It's not even that. It's like in the website code and all that kind of stuff. And that can be really tricky. Let me find the video so that I can give you the website link, because it's really cool. There's a website and you go there and you can put in your website name. And then what happens is it tests it for you and tells you how fast or slow it is, which is actually pretty helpful. Because then it, tells you, hey, this is what it is. And then this is what you can actually do to make sure that it's faster. So let me go here. Okay. Yeah, so I did a website I did a YouTube video, and it's the truth about DJ websites. And it's kind of cool because I just talk about the truth about the DJ websites, that design is all cool, but website load times are more important. So I'm going to give you 3 websites, and you can just probably Google website load time, whatever. But one is tools, TOOLS.pingdom, PINGDOM.com. There's another one, Uptrends, and there's another one, GT Metrics, GTMetrix.com. So, but yeah, if you want that video on YouTube, that's a really good video to watch. Goes over the same kind of stuff. So website load times are really, really important, and you need to make sure that your websites do load quickly, because if they don't and people are leaving before they even get a chance to see your picture, you're losing out on a ton of gigs, right? And I know with me, when I'm looking, I mean, for DJs, it's one thing. For a photographer, they really have to have a good website, because, we're judging them on their pictures from the start. And so you want to make sure that they are nice and elegant and looking good. And but the same kind of thing, I go to their websites, I want to make sure that it looks good. I want to make sure that it's easy to understand, and all that kind of stuff. Okay, so the next point that I have is to hire someone. Look, if you know what you're doing, you can do it yourself. That's totally fine. If you don't know what you're doing, you need to hire someone else. And I talk about this a lot. Look, you are a DJ. You're a great DJ. Focus on being a DJ. Don't focus on being a photographer. Don't try and take your own pictures. Hire someone. Don't focus on, your website design. Have someone else do it. If you don't know a thing about marketing and advertising, I can help you a little bit, but you may just want to hire someone else. You need to know the principles about it, and that's what I teach you. But if you don't know what you're doing, you need to hire someone else. All that kind of stuff, you need to hire someone else, because if you try and do it all yourself, the tricky thing is that you don't know everything. And maybe it's a little thing that a photographer knows, and it's a really cool angle that a photographer knows, or it's the ISO, for the cameras, or whatever it is. Hire someone who knows what they're doing. And I think this is tricky, because I think a lot of DJs are hypocrites with this little thing. They're professional, and they say, look, for your wedding, you need to hire a professional. And then this professional DJ won't go out and hire a professional photographer to come take nice pictures. And that's really tricky. So, and it's hard because, they're expensive and there's no guaranteed return, and it's really, really hard. So hire someone if you don't know what you're doing, because the little things that they do will change everything for you, and it will make your website look absolutely amazing. That's what I'm doing. I hire someone. Look, I mean, a lot of my social media pictures, I do a lot of them, but on my personal account, a lot of them are hired by someone else. I have someone else do it. All my promo videos, I have someone else do it. All of my videos, pictures, all of that, someone else is doing it. And the tricky thing is, like, I know a little bit, I don't know a lot, and so I can do the little bit. I can put a text on a piece on a picture. I can, do the shadow. The tricky thing is I'm not good with all the colors and the design and all of that stuff. And I can do a little bit of it, but not a lot. And so I know I need to hire someone else. I know there's a time that you need to hire someone else. Okay. Also, now back into the design part of it. Use neutral colors. Okay. Now, this is going to go back to the branding aspect of it and picking the colors and your logo creation and all of that. And I go into that in the training program. But if you use too many colors that don't complement each other, it's just going to be crazy. And, there's a bunch of charts online about neutral colors and or complementary colors and all the, the color wheel and all that. Like, there's actually like a design to it. And if you have to go on a triangle or a square if you want 4, or it has to be a pentagon or whatever it is, you have to pick those certain colors. And there was a website that I was on recently, and it said, give me a color and I'll tell you like the colors that'll go well with it. And then you can lock in multiple colors. So it gives you like 5 colors. And so then I liked 3 of them, but didn't like the other 2. I lock in 3 of them. And then the other 2, it switches to some other different colors that still match the first 3 colors. So it helps you create really good colors, which is actually really helpful when you are doing this design stuff. And when you're creating your logo, your branding, all of that kind of stuff, that's all good in that color wheel scheme. Let me see if I can find it. Yeah, so I just searched find complementary colors, and I think it is Peloton. No, that's not it. I'll check one more, and if it doesn't, no. Okay, I'll try and find it and put it in the description for this. But the cool thing is that it will tell you those different colors. Now, when you're creating your brand, when you are creating this logo, you don't want so many different odd colors. And sometimes I see that, like, it's like red and yellow and green and blue and like it's just so much that it's like daunting. Pick 1 to 2 colors, and one of those colors should be black or white. And it's kind of funny, but that's like the truth. I read this thing a while back, and it said your website, and this was an older thing, but it still will work. Unless you know what you're doing, unless you're a designer, your website should only have 3 colors: black, white, and a color of your choice, which is actually funny, but it's actually really, really true. It's easy to see. And if you just have that one extra kind of crazy color, it helps a lot. But if you have yellow, blue, green, pink, it's like so much, like it's over your head. It's really hard to really get it. And okay, too much. So you don't want that. You want it to be basic. And basic is not a bad thing. Okay. Simple is not a bad thing. And I think a lot of people in general think that, and that's just not true. Okay. Next one. On your website, this is more of the textual kind of stuff, but you want to specify your brand. Show your brand. And I talk about this. Your brand is not just your logo. Your brand is what you bring to an event, how your events are. Are they high energy? Are they low energy? Are they crazy? Are they mellow? What is your brand? And then you're going to want to brand that on your website. And I also suggest that you just pick a couple of events. So maybe 4 events: weddings, corporate events, anniversary parties, and Sweet 16s. Whatever it is, you want to pick some events and stick to just those, because once you can narrow down your how many events you do, it really helps you become a specialist. And when you're a specialist, you can make more money. And when you're a specialist, I was just talking to a DJ, and he is a Christian wedding DJ. I'm like, dude, that's awesome, because you're picking just a little narrow path, which is perfect, because then you can hit every single Christian wedding there is, right? And that's what you want. You want your brand to be on your website. You want people to understand. They go to your website and they're like, wow, maybe it's elegant weddings for you. Or maybe it's elegant low budget weddings. I don't know. You have to pick your brand. And once you pick your brand, you're good to go, and then people will see it and be like, wow, I know exactly what he stands for. I know exactly what he does. I know exactly what kind of events he does. And then it helps you connect with them. It helps them know instantly. And maybe they're not maybe you're not for them, but that means that they know it instantly, and that they don't have a meeting with you and you don't go and give them a contract and a proposal and all this stuff. And it doesn't need to be, right? You don't want to waste your time. You want to have everything. If you can have it on your website and say, this is what I do. I do high energy, low budget weddings, high energy, elegant, high end weddings, right? Whatever it is. And you don't say that, but you want to kind of imply it. On my website, I have the top line. One thing that I say to all my clients and that I convey is, I want to create memories for your event. I want to create long-lasting memories that every single person at your event will remember. And if they're kind of a cool client, I'll say and I hope those are good memories, right? And then they kind of start laughing, which is funny and right. And so that's really good. But I have the top line on my website. We create memories. Let us help you. Right? That's the top line on my website. We create memories, and then smaller below, let us help you. Contact us now. And then it's a picture of me and it says, I want to help you create memories for your event. Contact me today. Let's roll. And so, I'm showing them what I do. I create memories. Do you want memories for your event? Of course they do. And then I'm going to say, let's roll, right? Contact me today. Hit my contact page. Okay. Lastly, one more thing for your website. Don't talk about yourself. Now, sounds kind of funny. And you're like, yeah, but I'm supposed to sell myself. You are supposed to sell yourself in your text. You're supposed to sell yourself. Talk about what you offer. Talk about why you're good. But you don't want to talk about yourself and not the client. The client only cares about themselves. They only care about themselves. So you want to say, hey, we offer this so you get this. We have high quality microphones that will help you because XYZ. So what I would rather, let me tell you the reasoning. I go on some DJ websites and it's, we offer this, we have these speakers, we have this kind of lighting, we have LED intelligent moving head lighting, we have wireless microphones that are in the 850 kilobit per second or whatever gigahertz, whatever. Okay, so much stuff, dude. They don't care about that. They care about themselves. What is that microphone going to do for them, right? You have a microphone that scans channels in the 850 gigahertz or whatever channel. What is that going to do for them? Okay. They don't care about your microphone. They care about themselves. So what's the benefit of that microphone for them? No dropouts, right? That's what this microphone does for them. No dropouts. So you're going to say, our microphones don't drop out during your speeches. It doesn't happen. It scans channels and it doesn't allow it to happen. Now that is much better than, we have this microphone that does this, right? You want it to be, what's the benefit for them? What is the benefit of booking you and this microphone, right? Our speakers are 1800 watts each and they have 131 decibels. What does that do for them? Are your speakers clear and they're loud? And so you can say our speakers will, or what I like to say actually is, your guests' speeches will be heard throughout the room clearly, throughout the room with our speakers with our high quality speakers, with our high-end speakers, with our something like that. You want to give the benefit to them first, before you talk about yourself. And so instead of I have 20 years of experience, I have X, Y, and Z, don't always just say I, because they don't care about that. Say your guests will love how smoothly the event goes because of our 30 years of experience in the wedding business, right? Start off with them. Your guests will love how smooth the wedding is, how smooth your event goes because of our 30 years of experience in the DJ industry. Whatever it is, talk about them first. Give them something. Because if they have two DJs and one talks about the DJ and one talks about the guests, who do they care about? So don't talk about yourself. Just talk about the benefit that they're going to get with booking you. Okay. Let me recap everything and then we'll jump off this podcast. First, you want to make sure it's mobile friendly. You want to make sure it looks nice. It's elegant. I like modern websites. I like elegant websites. Really, really important. You want to make sure that your website is good. Quick load times, super important. Make sure your website loads quickly. If you don't know what you're doing, you need to hire someone. Okay. It'll be the best investment you make. Don't try and cut corners and do it yourself. It is expensive. It'll be worth it. Use neutral colors. Don't use all these crazy colors. Use complementary colors that work together, that are appealing. That's really important. Specify your brand on your website. That's pictures, that's headlines, that's text. That's just how the website flows. All of that you need to, if you're going to say you're a simple DJ, have a simple website, right? Don't have 30 tabs at the top. Does that make sense? Be simple. If you're going to be a high-end person or a high-end DJ, you have to have a high-end website. You better spend a lot of money making sure that website is nice, because you don't want to turn away high-end clients because, you say that you're high-end, but you're not, because your website isn't. And lastly, don't talk about yourself. Talk about the benefit the client's going to get because they book with you. That was the Peak Period podcast. Thank you for listening. This, I really, really love helping DJs, and I'm glad that I could help you today. If you have any questions about website load times, go ahead, reach out to me. You can reach out via DM, instant message. You can email me, info@djtjtraining.com, or you can put a thing in on our website, a little request, djtjtraining.com. We will be back next week. Thank you for checking out the Peak Period podcast. Have a good week, kill it, and book a gig before next week.